Today we're filming this extreme Lotus Exige Sport 410. This car drives like nothing else on the road. Stick around until the end to see the full driving experience.
My name is Tam. I'm 28 years old, Perth resident. I was born in a small city in the northwest of Pakistan called Peshawar. Moved with my family when I was 10 years old, and Perth has been home ever since. We're four brothers, so you can guess that it's a pretty hectic household. We've always loved everything with engines in it. My brother and I ride bikes as well. I think it probably started off with, I guess, my brother's first car, just watching them work on it in the garage. You always kind of want to hang out with the big guys a little bit, so handing them spanners, handing them tools. That's kind of where it all began, I guess. I used to own a version 6 GC8 STI. It was one of my dream cars. I loved Colin McRae. I loved everything about rally. At the time, I sold the car to do a bit more study, so I did a bit more postgrad overseas, and that has been the single biggest regret, I think. Not only because they're really valuable now, but I think it was just one of the most special driving experiences. And I think if I ever get the chance and it ever happens, I'd love to have another one in my garage. So that's one big regret. If anyone has a version 6 GC8 STI, don't sell it unless you sell it to me. So why Lotus? I think the short answer is that there is nothing that drives like a Lotus except a Lotus, and I think you have to get behind the wheel to really get what that means. And the long answer, I guess the enthusiast long answer is that every decade or so, with time goes by, these cars just get more and more amazing, more incredible. We had turbo cars and supercharged cars, and now we have these hybrid powertrains, and the performance is at a different level. But one thing I sort of noticed in looking at cars is that as that performance is getting to the next level, it's becoming a much more detached driving experience, because you have to make that performance accessible to everyone. And how do you do that? You have these amazing traction control systems, you have all this amazing stability management, and I'm not knocking that, it's great for the safety and everything, but as a driver, as someone who wants to experience driving, that's one less thing that you do. So to me, my Lotus story actually began by just driving one. I'd never known anyone that owned it. I'd never experienced them at car shows or anything. Yeah, I knew the name about it, and I had the opportunity to kind of just drive it, and then that was it. Once you drive the car, to me, that's what the passion in driving is, to be in control, to have the mechanical feel. It was like that GC8, but probably a little bit more dialed up, but it was that feel that I am doing everything. And you might not be the fastest with it, but it's you. That's the most amazing part of it all. That's why I'm Team Lotus. Plans for the car. So it's a good question. I don't know if you guys saw Targa West, but Peter Rollo, is a bit unlucky with his drive belt situation, but to see a similar-ish level car perform at that level, I think the next plan will be to get myself as a driver up there. I think the car is way more capable than I am. So you'll probably see me doing some track work, I think, to try to, give the car a bit of justice, to see if I can, get it getting a little bit faster. But yeah, that's probably the next step, is just get your driver level up a little bit. And then maybe from there, we'll see if we can get some goodies on it. Maybe a 4-point harness. I think you need a harness. But yeah, one thing at a time after that. Number one, take all your advice with a pinch of salt. I'm 28, I got to experience something that I've always really wanted, so I guess I'm in a very kind of privileged position for that. But there's a lot of cliche advice, but it really is true. And I think ultimately what makes a career or makes a future is passion. If you're passionate, everything else falls in place. Difficult days, weeks and months and everything, no amount of money or whatever else it might be can get you to push through that difficulty unless you're passionate. So my advice to anyone would be, pursue what you're passionate about, because you have the chance to be one of the best, and the best will always make it. So
And now the part you've all been waiting for, the driving experience.